Oh yeah! Oh, I almost fainted because that was so delicious. Welcome back to Grafting Dragon Fruit. I'm Richard, and today I'm going to be harvesting another round of dragon fruit. If you guys saw my last harvest video, I was able to harvest about 4 to 5 different dragon fruit varieties, but today we have a lot more that's ready, and they're the more rare and exotic varieties like Asuna 6 and wild berry Skittles. Just some of those that you guys been wanting to see. So if you're ready, let's get to it. I'm going to start with harvesting Lisa. So Lisa's way in the back in the corner. I leave it over here because these spines here are really sharp and I don't want my kids to accidentally bump into them and get hurt. So Lisa's been doing well even though it's in majority of the shade. And the fruits and flowers actually still bloom pretty bountiful. I was able to get a good amount of fruits over here and the size did not compromise. Even though they're in the shade and don't get as much sun as all of the other ones, the fruits still get pretty big. So I'm thinking they're ready. They're about 43 days. So 43 days should be okay, but like I said, Lisa tastes really good when the cone cracks. Their acid and tart is so strong that they need a good sweetness to balance all of that flavor out. And once you get a good balance of sweetness in Lisa, it tastes absolutely amazing. You will love it. But anything before that, it has a sharp tart and you're not a tart kind of person, it might kind of throw you off. But I gave it a try and my friend Diego Melendez always tells me, try it when the cone cracks, and when I finally did, it changed my mind. I was gonna remove this variety, but ended up keeping it. All right, so let's do some harvesting. These ones still have a little bit of green on them, so I know they're a bit tart still. This one is looking really plump, still a little bit of green, but the cone hasn't cracked yet, but it's getting close to that. So I'm going ahead and leave that. Even though they look ready like that, Lisa needs that cone crack. I have one here that I pollinated with wild berry Skittles. So this is a Lisa pollinated with wild berry Skittles pollen. So this could be a new hybrid if I wanted to use its seeds. We'll have both of their genetics in there. Or if I just want to eat the whole fruit, then I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to take this one off right here. And let me just go around and check if anything else is ready. This one is super plumped. And as you can see, it didn't grow all of the bracts. There's only about 5 or 6 of them that I can count. The skin is super smooth. Even though it looks really plumped and ready, it's still a little green here and the cone hasn't really split yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. This one too, cone still looks intact. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one there. I have another Lisa here. This one was also pollinated with wild berry Skittles. And it's pretty big, but I don't think it's ready. You know what? Let's go ahead and just harvest this. So if I want the seeds, I can go ahead and collect the seeds. I have 2 Lisas that are cross hybrid with the wild berry Skittles. So if I wanted to, I can plant these seeds and then create a new hybrid with them. So we're just gonna go ahead, leave the rest over there. Got a couple Lisas. Again, I don't always harvest all of the fruits because I like to get a baseline of what they taste. And it kind of gives me an idea of how far they are with ripening. And if it's good, then I come back and I'll harvest everything else. But if it still tastes a little less than what I like it to be, then I'll leave it on until it's ready and then harvest one by one until it's really good, then take them all off. All right, so we have Grape Pop here. Grape Pop is a very good tasting variety. It really reminds me of eating like a grape otter pop, those freeze popsicles that you eat, or drinking a grape soda. Really reminds me of like Concord grape, very grapey vibes. This one here, still a little green, and I believe if there was more sun shining down here, this would turn a lot redder. But it's getting really plump. Cone is still pretty much intact. It's getting a little loose, but it's not that loose. So I know that it's gonna need a little bit more time. So that's an indicator that I use. I'll wiggle it, see how the skin is. When I press on it, I still feel that skin is a little tough and not thin enough where I can feel the flesh. So we're gonna go ahead and leave Grape Pop. And we have more ripening, so I'm excited for those to get ready. And once they're ready, you best believe I'm gonna be harvesting them and eating them nice and cold, because that's when they're the most delicious. Cold dragon fruits in the fridge for 1 hour. If you guys haven't tried eating them after chilling them, that's the way I like to enjoy them, so you guys should give that a try. This is Red Laverne here, and Red Laverne loves to grow big, massive fruits. Check out the size of this one. It is humongous. The one below it's a little smaller, but still, size comparison, it's still pretty big. I have one back here, and it already has a cone crack. It's wiggling pretty good. I'd like it to get a little bit more red, but you know what? Let's go ahead and just take it off. I haven't had red Laverne this season yet, so I don't think I can wait any longer. I need to have some because this variety is also a very good variety. And these ones grow so big that it just looks so cool. I made a reel on this on Instagram where I hold it like Simba is being born because they're so big. But yeah, red Laverne, really, really good flavor. Also has the grape flavor, sweet, juicy. I make dragon fruit lemonade with this all the time because it's so juicy and sweet, and everybody loves it. And they always request the dragon fruit lemonade every summer. I call it Dragonade. Okay, now we are on to something a little bit more exciting. This variety I don't talk about too much because it's still new, and we have Asuna 6. Asuna 6 here has been very, very productive in producing flowers, and then now I've been pollinating them. This one actually pollinated about a week ago, and now it's turning into fruit. And these ones are the first wave of Asuna 6 fruits that are finally ready. And I just love how these look, the shape of it, the color of it. The fruit size are all consistently the same size. They're pretty big. I would say they're at least a pound. They look solid. Some aren't as ready yet, but we're gonna go ahead and harvest some because I've been waiting all summer for these to get ready, and they finally are. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in the back and pick those out first. All right, this one is absolutely ready, guys. You see? It's cracking already, so you know this one is probably overripe. The thing with Asuna 6 is they have Okapanus genes in them, Ocampus genes in them, and those type of genetics makes it that if it overripes, it loses a lot of its complex flavors and it becomes more, will just taste sugar more than all of the complexity in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here and we'll bring it to our basket in a bit. This one looks ready. This one also feels ready. They're just so plumped and round. They look so cool. I'm gonna say this one is also ready. Okay, gonna come back out and see what's happening in the front. This one is definitely ready. You're gonna see that the color of it's pretty ripe here. All of the color is red, coral. There's not a lot of green left. And the skin on this feels very thin. Like if I were to wait any longer, it might burst. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off before it does the bursting. And I'll show you guys what happens when you wait so long or too long. I have natural mystic over there that I kept over there just because I wanted to taste it. If it were to ripen longer, will the flavor get any better? So we're gonna go over there later and show you guys what happens when you wait too long. It looks like a monster. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Asuna 6 ready. All right, so you know what? I'm not gonna make you guys wait. I know you guys have been wondering how it looks, how it tastes, and all of that. So let's go ahead and just cut open the one that burst already. So this one here has the cone cracking. It either can taste really good or it can taste not so good because it's kind of overripe, and you don't want overripe dragon fruit. Sometimes it tastes really good when it's ripe like that, and some varieties don't do too well. It actually loses its potential. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this in half, show you guys the mid cross section of it. Trying to be careful to not cut my hand. Knife is really sharp. Okay, here we go. Wow. Yeah, I can see that it's overripe. If you look, the seeds are starting to germinate. So you see all of those white little dots, that's actually the seed germinating. So if you put those seeds into soil, they'll sprout right away. All right, so now I know that once they crack, then it's a little too late. So if you guys are growing Asuna 6, don't let it crack, because if it cracks, then it's gonna have some seeds that's germinated, And I don't know how that's gonna taste. So we're gonna go ahead and try that today, okay? Here's Asuna 6. It tastes a lot better cold, but I just wanna eat it right now so that you guys can experience it with me. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Even though it looks overripe, that flavor is still so delicious. And I brought some napkin, you guys. Sorry if my face is a little messy. Asuna 6 is that variety that doesn't have the tart that gives you that kick. It is more on the creamy side, and it reminds me a lot of Trisha. It's very sweet. It has a lot of berry flavor to it. It reminds me of like creamy raspberry. And like I said, again, there's no acid to it, so I don't taste the tart at all. It's really smooth and creamy is how I want to explain it. It's kind of like eating a raspberry gelato creamy ice cream. If this were to be cold, it would be so, so good. Delicious, delicious. So if you're someone that just wants dragon fruit with no tart, Asuna 6 is gonna provide that for you. It's more on the creamy, smooth ice cream, like kind of texture-wise, flavor-wise. Still really refreshing, sweet, and I can't stop eating this. I know, I'm just like eating this and trying to talk at the same time. It's because it's that good. So let me just go ahead and finish this. Even though the seeds germinated and sprouted, it usually has a earthy taste to it. But Asuna 6, I didn't get that. I didn't get that earthy tone or earthy taste because of the seeds germinating. It tastes really clean, and all you really taste is like really good, very tropical flavors, berry flavors. That's delicious. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick that up later. So yes, Asuna 6, you guys. Not much tart, but really awesome in flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the side and we're gonna come back to it. All right, so that is Asuna 6. So that one was a really good one, and it gave me a good idea of how ready they are. And yeah, once it got to that point, perfect. You can harvest it a little earlier if you want some tart in it. I believe if it's a little green, you can harvest it and actually get that tart. I'm gonna go ahead and just harvest this one just because I tried that and it was just so good already. So I know these are gonna be ready as well. So this one has a little bit of green on it, so it should have a little bit more acid with all of that really good Asuna 6 flavor. All right, our basket's already getting pretty full, but we still have more to harvest. So let's go ahead and keep on going. This is wild berry Skittles, and the fruits are starting to finally change color. They are looking so awesome. So wild berry Skittles gets this rainbow color when it starts to ripen. You can see that's red, green, orange, yellow. You even see purple within all of the colors. It's a true rainbow fruit once it starts to ripen. And the variegation has a lot to do with that. So these look like they are ready. They're starting to already cracked here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. And just wild berry Skittles is that true exotic, rare looking dragon fruit. Not only the fruit looks really cool, but the plant itself is also really cool looking. It's variegated. Wild berry Skittles is a variegated variety. And this is what the fruit looks like when the majority of it is ripe. And you can see here the cones, they're starting to crack. So I know you guys want to see inside of wild berry Skittles, so let's just go ahead and do that right now. Wild berry Skittles has more tart than the Asuna 6. They're both Asuna 6, but wild berry Skittles just has a little bit more of that berry tart, very candy-like flavor. All right, guys, let me put this down. Here we have wild berry Skittles. That flesh looks really, really delicious. Very vibrant color, and it reminds me of a bag of wild berry Skittles. So that's how I got this name. Everything about it. Even the fruit skin color has a rainbow. So you know, you eat Skittles and you taste the rainbow. Okay, let me cut a piece of this and see how the wild berry Skittles are doing this season. The one thing I've noticed about wild berry Skittles is it always has lots of seeds. So you're always gonna get a lot of seed in this one. So you're creating hybrids, that's a good thing. But when you're eating it, you won't really notice too much of the seeds. It's actually fun, it's kind of like popping boba. All right, here we go, wild berry Skittles. Wow. Going from Asuna 6, where it was smooth, creamy, raspberry, you know, very mellow, but very intense in flavor at the same time. And then you go to wild berry Skittles, where it has now the tart, the berry flavors, the candy sweetness, and the juiciness of it. All those seeds, like I told you, it pops and cracks, so it's really fun to eat at the same time. The tartness and the sweetness, they contrast with each other, and it makes the flavor profile just so much more fun and interesting to eat. Your palate kind of like, what is that? And then wants to go back for a second bite, third bite, until all of it's gone. That was delicious. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side. Okay, so we're gonna go now to Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids now is finally ready. The last time you guys saw me in my other harvest video, it was still kind of green and they didn't get filled up and plumped yet, but now it's looking really good. So we're gonna go ahead and just take off these Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids is self-fertile, and I have seen it where they self-pollinate themselves. So the anthers and the stigma are very close to each other, and they're able to self-pollinate themselves and fruit. Let me go back here and see. Wow, this was not quite ready yet, but you can see it already cracked here. This could be due from too much water. Sometimes the sun kind of heats it up and they expand, so they burst. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and take these off. They look good. Okay, I have a couple more over here. Let me just go ahead and cut these off, and I'll be right back over there. I was able to harvest 4 more Sour Patch Kids over there. Let me see if this one's ready. Yes, it's also starting to almost crack. We're seeing a little bit of that crack, but you can see the tips are dried and it's looking really plump. Even the fins are starting to turn red, so it's more than ready. This harvest is looking very promising. You guys, check how much I already have, and there's still a couple more trellis, or a few more trellis to go. I have pink panther here. That definitely needs to be harvested. Look at all that. We also have a flower here that's gonna bloom tonight. So as you can see, the bulb is starting to kind of expand. The flower petals are releasing. Self-fertile, so I can go inside later tonight. Once it fully blooms, I'm gonna go ahead and use its own pollen. Pollinate this stigma right here. So you put the pollen on this stigma, and then it's going to turn into this in about 45 to 50 days. All right, let's go ahead and take pink panther off. We know that it's self-fertile. It's a really good fruit. I harvested a good amount of these on my last episode, on my harvesting episode. And you know, if you watched it, they have thorns at the base. So make sure when you're harvesting pink panther to be extra careful. You don't want the thorns to get on you. I already flicked them off, but if you did not watch that, go ahead and go back to that video and watch you guys, and I'll show you guys too. There's one right there. Super, super prickly. Maybe you can see it better if I put this here. Yes, but it just knocks off like that. Just make sure not to be too aggressive and grab it. And I love to harvest when they're kind of green like this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is when they have some nice tart to them and the texture of the flesh is a little bit more firm. So it's really nice. And these two, oh, and we got 3 more on the other side. Look at all those spikes, you guys. Right there, right here, here, and wow, there's 3 right there. Be careful. Okay, before I go over there, there is a Sour Patch watermelon right here. This is under all this canopy, so it's trying to reach full color, but it really can't. But you see the cone is cracked, and the fins are starting to turn primarily red. So it's ready for harvest. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. All right. Because I have some Sour Patch Kids in there and they look pretty similar to each other, I wanna put SPW to remind myself that this is Sour Patch watermelon. So if you're harvesting a lot of dragon fruits and you're not familiar with what they look like yet, go ahead and have a Sharpie label it. And so once you go back in there, you know exactly what variety you have. Okay, look at this. We are almost at full capacity, but we still got plenty more to harvest. This is pink Laverne, not quite ready yet. You can see that they're turning full color, but there's still kind of blotches there. So we're gonna leave that probably for about another week and they will be ready. Okay, here's 3 more pink panthers that are ready. Here we go. Nice and plumped, still green. This is when they taste super good. Okay. We are now heading over here. Oh, I just want to look at these buds. So this is bubblegum. This is also another Asuna 6. It finally decided to bud. It's been about 1.5 years. The canopy hasn't fully developed yet, and it did catch some type of fungus, but it stopped spreading and now it's starting to heal. And now they're producing fruit, so can't wait for bubblegum to bloom and get to eat its fruit again. I only got to try it for 1 season, and I really liked it. So looking forward to that. All right, we're gonna go ahead now, make our way down to the other side. I usually start on the condor side, but today I decided to, start where Lisa was. Over here we have Asuna 5 Paco, and these fruits are ready. They usually turn more burgundy, but I've been harvesting them at this stage right here because the berry flavor really shows once they're half green and half red. Look at that. And look how loose they feel, even though they don't look full color yet. It's very interesting. And you guys will gain all of this knowledge and all of this experience and know how to harvest dragon fruit when they're ready. Just like me, when you start growing so many of them for so long, they become almost like your children, and you know when they're ready, when they need anything. Okay, Asuna 5. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I need to close this knife. Okay, we here have another trellis of wild berry Skittles. And this one is always in the shade, so that's why you don't see it variegate too much. The one in the sun over there gets more sun, so it does a lot of the variegating. This one is a little bit more special because I did a cross hybridizing with this one. I hybridized wild berry Skittles with cherry gushers this year, and check that out. It's already bursting, so we know it's ready. But the fruit just looks so beautiful, don't you guys agree? Let me just let you guys see that. The variegation on the fruit makes it look so awesome. Okay, because I did a hybrid on this one, I'm gonna go ahead and label that this fruit has the hybridized seeds. So when I go back in there and I sort all these fruits out, I know which one to keep separate So that way I can not eat it and collect the seeds and save it and then share it with people and then create some new hybrids that might create some awesome varieties in the future. So I'm just gonna put this is wild berry Skittles, and I crossed it with CG. And what that just means is cherry gushers, and I know what those abbreviation means. If you don't, you always can write the whole name out. Okay, we have secured the hybridized fruit. We know that one's good and out of the way, so now we can take care of the rest. Here's another wild berry Skittles, cracked. So we gotta go ahead, take this one off. Some spider webs on there, but we're gonna go ahead and wash all that later. There's 2 more in the back. Also ready. They are about 43 days, but you can see here, they've cracked already. And because it's under all of this shade, I don't believe that it was able to get its full color. Sun is very important for dragon fruit, you guys. It determines how their skin color changes. It can get fully red if there's more sun accessing to it. And the sweetness level actually gets higher if there's more sun. Okay, so we have the wild berry Skittles harvested. The Asuna 5 are harvested. We'll leave that one. There's one more here, and this one still looks very green, not ready. And I'm pressing on the skin, it still feels a little thick to me. So we're not gonna do anything about that. And this is the Asuna 6 flower that's gonna bloom tonight. So some nice light pink flower. Just can't wait to see that tonight. That's gonna be beautiful. Okay, it's getting so heavy now, guys, that I have to carry it with 2 hands. We are almost done, I promise. This here is purple haze. And purple haze also decided to split a little bit. It is getting hotter here, and the varieties are starting to ripen a lot quicker. Purple haze, very good variety, self-sterile. You need to cross-pollinate it, but it accepts majority of all the pollen that you grow it with. The only thing about purple haze is it's related to Cosmic Charlie, Dark Star, Delight, Physical Graffiti, Halley's Comet. You can't use any of those pollen with each other because they're all sister seedlings of each other. Because Paul Thompson created these varieties, they're all related. So those varieties, you want to make sure to avoid using those type of pollen, but you can always use Sugar Dragon, Vietnam White, Cherry Gushers, Jurassic Guava, anything besides the varieties I just named, because they're all related. So keep that in mind if you're growing purple haze, okay guys? All right, we're making our way down now to my other pink panther. This one, yes, we're gonna take this fruit off. Nice, big. Pink panther gets pretty good in size. This one is still a little green on the side. We're gonna go ahead and just leave that one. And melon berry, I pollinated on July 24th with some pink laverne that was frozen, and it failed. And I did a control test by using that frozen pollen on another flower, and it also died. So I know that pink laverne pollen wasn't a good pollen because it failed. It doesn't mean that it didn't accept the pollen, it just means the pollen wasn't good. So that was a bummer because melon berry is a very good variety and it's just really hard to grow. It's very picky with what type of pollen you use, and the pollen that I've had success with is pink laverne. So if you're growing melon berry, make sure you have a pink laverne variety in your collection so that way you can pollinate it. So that flower died, but we have another melon berry that's gonna bloom sometime tomorrow or even the next day after tomorrow. And we have one new melon berry bud. So hoping that we get some success on these so I can get to try it for another time. All right, this is the trellis that I'm talking about where I left it on for so long that it burst. And I really let it burst this time. And honestly, it was not this bad when I left it. It was a lot smaller, but only within one day, it did this. So if you guys watched my first harvest video, I tried it when it was only barely cracked and I didn't like it. So now I'm very curious if I try it at this stage, if it's gonna be good and it's worth keeping. So let's go ahead and try the Natural Mystic again. Ooh, look at that flesh color. Really love the flesh color. It's really attractive to the eyes and it makes you really want to eat it. Go ahead and put that there. Let's see if I'm gonna like it this time. Moments of truth, and its last chance to prove me wrong if it's gonna get put on the chopping block and get removed, or it gets to stay here at GDF headquarters. You guys ready? Cheers. Wow. Wow. Okay. I get what all the hype is now, you guys. I was just not letting it ripe all the way. Holy smokes. I am super surprised of how good this tastes. Yeah, in my last harvest, I tried them when they barely cracked and it did not have this complex of flavor and the sweetness was not there. Now it has very complex dragon fruit, berry, grapey, tropical flavors to it. And it's sweet, it's really sweet. It's not neutral tasting anymore. It really gives a punch of flavor once you bite into it. Wow. Wow, I couldn't even finish the piece last time, but this time I want to. Okay, Natural Mystic gets to stay. This is good. I'm happy to say that Natural Mystic is here to stay. So this is actually really good varieties. And I really like it that it's self-fertile and self-pollinating. So I'm happy that it tastes good because all those are really good pros. As you can see, we do have some more Natural Mystic that cracked and burst. So we're gonna go ahead and just take them off. This one's definitely ready. And this one, you can see what I'm talking about when they don't reach their full color. So the flavor doesn't really reach its full potential. So when I harvest them, they'll be like this color, more like on the coral light pink, I would say, light red. But you have a crack on them. And you would think they're ready and ripened, you know, has really good flavor, but no. When I was eating them like this, it made me almost want to get rid of this variety. But when it has this full color, this fluorescent red, that's when Natural Mystic tasted so good, like just right now. It blew my mind. I had to pause real quick and, you know, I'm actually kind of relieved because I didn't want to throw it away because I told you it's self-fertile, self-pollinating. I love varieties that are easy to get fruits from. So I'm glad it tastes good because now it's here to stay forever. All right. We're making our way over here, and this Vietnam red has been really trying to keep its skin intact. It's just getting way so like humongous here. I'm gonna go ahead and just harvest it today because it's cracked and I don't want ants to go ahead and get to this. So we're gonna remove this humongous Vietnam red. And if I were to wait any longer, you can see that the skin is starting to get really translucent here. It will just start to burst like the Natural Mystic if I didn't take it off. So I think it's still gonna be very sweet because look at that size. We have no more room, so I'm gonna have to physically hold this one in my other hand and lunge this to our last trellis to harvest for the day. And we are back at Sugar Dragon. Sugar Dragon today has one fruit that is ready. If you guys saw my first harvest, there was like more than 10. But today, only one of these are ready. The last one for the first season. And then we're gonna slowly move into the second wave and the second harvest of the season, probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So this time around, I was able to get way more fruits, many more different varieties. Oop, look at that. And this is all the dragon fruit that I was able to harvest today. So very happy with the harvest. Very happy with all the varieties that I have. There's a lot of different varieties. So can't wait to go in there in my house, wash them all up and get them cool and chill and really get to enjoy in that way. And just by dropping that Vietnam red real quick, it made it crack and already bruise. And look at that. All the juices are coming out already. So let's just end this video with trying Vietnam red at this stage, seeing how they are, and then we'll wrap it all up. Let me know in the comments, you guys, if you guys enjoyed watching me harvest the fruit and eating them and kind of doing a live tasting right there and then. If you guys did enjoy that type of style, then let me know. We'll do more harvest and eating and, you know, cutting the fruit like this. showing you guys what the fruit looked like, so that way you guys get an idea of what the variety is all about. So yeah, guys, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy this style of shooting today, where I went around, harvest fruit, tried the fruit, and I feel like in the future, if there is fruits that you guys want me to try as I harvest, just let me know in the comments, and we'll make that a priority, so then you can see it for yourself. Vietnam red is just so big. This little slice here is like the size of this pink panther. For size comparison, you guys, it's bigger than the pink panther. So big. So that just shows you how big that Vietnam red was. All right, here we go. Let's see if it's good. Oh yeah. Oh, I almost fainted because that was so delicious. Honestly, out of all the ones that I just tried today, this Vietnam red hits the best. Has really good tart. It's very sweet. The complexity of it is very complex. There's a lot of flavor going on. When you bite it, it's just, you don't really know what to think or to say. It's just one of those flavors that just shocks you, shock factor, and you're just wondering like, what is this? What kind of fruit is this? Knowing that it's dragon fruit, but can't comprehend how it got these type of flavors as a dragon fruit. So that's what I'm getting from eating this Vietnam red right now. And it's warm, it's not even cold. So if this was nice and chilled, I probably would be slamming the table with my hand, asking it, why are you so good? Why are you so good? Because that's how I feel right now. Okay. I'm gonna save that for later. That was just so good. All right, guys, that is the end of our harvest here. Lots of dragon fruits, lots to sort out later, and hopefully more taste test videos for you guys to see. So if there's a variety here that you guys want to see me do a taste test of, let me know in the comments. All right, if you guys enjoyed this video today, please give me a like. If you guys have any comments or anything that you want to ask me, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. And I hope you guys enjoyed everything today. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel yet, please hit that subscribe button so that way you won't miss a single thing. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Grafting Dragon Fruit. Peace.